Cooking Crave, brought to you by ENG Lending, your area's #1 choice for home loans. 456loan.com.
Coming up on today's show, we have 2 recipes with a Mexican flair. That's all coming your way next. Stay tuned. Hi, I'm Rhonda Fitterer.
And I'm Laverne Didi.
And we have 2 recipes today for a slow cooker taco. So for those that need throw it in the crock pot in the morning.
And do your errands or off to work, you're going to have supper made for you.
It's awesome. And we're going to pair that today with a refried bean recipe.
Correct.
So if you want to cook along with us, just get a piece of paper and a pen and write down these ingredients. For the slow cooker chicken tacos, you're going to need 2 pounds of boneless chicken breasts, a packet of your favorite seasoning, 10-ounce can of Rotel, 4-ounce can of green chilies, a half a cup of chicken broth, 3/4 cup of salsa, and your favorite soft or hard shell tacos.
Correct. And toppings or fixings if you want.
Yep, well, whatever you like there, olive, sour cream,
Yep.
some more taco sauce, whatever you prefer there.
Yes.
And then for the refried bean recipe, you're going to need 4 15-ounce cans of pinto beans, 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 1 large sweet onion, 5 to 6 cloves of garlic, a 1/3 cup of chopped cilantro, 1.5 teaspoons of chili powder, and 1.5 teaspoons of ground cumin, 1/4 to 1/2 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, 1/4 to 1/2 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. I just said that.
Yep.
Don't add that twice. 3 cups of cubes of chicken bouillon, 2 tablespoons of fresh lime juice, salt and pepper, and water.
Pretty easy.
Yes.
It's going to be interesting. Yes, they have the refried beans in cans. And personally, that's not my favorite. Your dad loves it.
Yeah.
Whatever. So if I can have a great refried bean recipe your dad loves, he'll be really happy.
That's right. Where do we want to get started today?
Well, what I would like to do, we're going to start over on the stove there. We're going to just start sauteing the onions and stuff for the refried bean recipe.
Okay.
And then we'll assemble the quesadilla chicken tacos.
Okay.
I already have one in the crock pot ready to go.
Okay.
So we'll just show it putting it together and stuff. So
Okay. Sounds great.
So we're going to come over here and I'll just put we want about 2 tablespoons of olive oil in here.
Okay.
And we're going to, I'll just put there we go. And so we're going to saute the onions, the garlic, and cilantro. And then we're actually going to have the seasoning in right away too. We want to have that seasoned, or I should say the onions nice and soft because, when you do the refried beans, you want it mashed and you want the onions to be pretty soft so that they, mash up and you don't have a lot of consistency other than the beans. So,
Right.
So we're going to start with that. So it's a large onion a large 1 onion chopped.
Okay.
So we have that. And then I got 6 cloves of garlic toes here, chopped, minced fine.
Okay.
And then about a 1/3 cup of chopped cilantro. And, this is kind of a seasoning, the cilantro, that people probably may want to adjust. Some people don't like the flavoring of cilantro very well. It's not going to affect the recipe if you don't want to put that in.
Sure.
Or even cutting it back. But a 1/3 cup isn't that much. So now, I need my teaspoon. I think I got it over here.
Okay.
All right. So it was 1.5 teaspoons of chili powder.
Okay.
And actually this here is 1.5 teaspoons, my spoon.
Okay.
And same way with the cumin, 1.5 teaspoons.
Okay.
But going to have to be a little bit more careful with the cayenne pepper. We may not want.
Yes. That's
that
going to
much.
make it a little spicy.
That's right. So It says 1/4 to 1/2, and we like, you know, that zip, that flavoring. So I'm going to put about a 1/2 teaspoon in there.
Okay.
And there again, that's, some people, they may even like it spicy but can't
Right.
handle it. So, you know, it's nice to be able to just adjust to whatever you can handle.
Sure. Now, you know, being refried beans is usually a smooth texture. Do we puree these, or, you know, put them through a process that they really do mix up with the beans?
Well, what I'm going to do, I do have a potato masher. Because,
Okay.
you know, with the beans, they will chop up nicely. But if you really like that real smooth consistency to refried beans, you may want to put it in a food processor. But,
Okay.
you know, and it does say use the potato masher or whatever. And that's why we want to make sure that we saute these onions for probably about 15 minutes.
Sure. Make sure they're really nice and soft.
That's correct. So I'm actually going to put the lid on there too, because, you know, that'll kind of help steam it a little bit and be able to, hopefully they'll get a little softer.
Sure.
So we're going to come over here and we're going to assemble the chicken quesadilla tacos. Now, it is from, you know, you can put it in a slow cooker, but I got the recipe from my daughter-in-law, Sarah.
Okay.
And she has made it just in a fry pan too, you know, without, you know, doing the whole day or whatever.
Okay.
And stuff, and that works too. So whatever works. I have my chicken in the refrigerator there, so we'll get that. And it says 2 pounds of chicken, and that's, so it's just kind of like, so we're going to just put that in here. Just put that on the bottom.
Those are some big chicken breasts.
Right. You know, when we butcher chickens at home, the breasts weren't that big. I don't know where they get these chickens from.
Had Miracle-Gro chickens.
I think so. So just put that in first. And then it says 1 envelope or package of taco seasoning, any of choice. Now, of course, I always I don't buy I buy it in bulk.
Sure.
And it's about 3 tablespoons. So we're going to put the taco seasoning, just sprinkle that evenly over the chicken breasts.
Okay.
And it is so easy to assemble. You know, when I put this together, you know, when I got the other one going here, it doesn't take long. So it's something, like I say, quick that you can definitely do. You can have it on high if you need it, maybe in 3 to 4 hours. If you have it on high, it's going to be done. If you have the whole day, just put it down on low. So,
Okay.
So next, what we're going to do, there it says bouillon cubes or chicken broth, and 1/2 cup. So I have that here, and we're going to just mix our jalapenos in here.
Green chilies.
Or green chilies. Yeah. They're not jalapenos.
Okay. They look like green chilies.
Yes, they do. And then a can of Rotel, a can of Rotel. And it says, you know, you can have that one with the lime and cilantro in the can or just original.
Okay.
And when I went to the grocery store to get these, because I thought, oh, I got 2 cans, but I only had 1. There's certainly a lot of different flavors in it.
There are.
You like spicy. They have Rotel with habanero.
Yeah.
Do you think that would tickle
Well,
your
you and Dad
tonsils?
might like it, but probably not so much for my kids.
Yeah. That would be
It'll
pretty,
clear out your
pretty
sinuses.
spicy. Yeah, for sure. So then we're going to, you know, just mix all that up with the, you know, chicken broth, and we're going to just pour that over. And that's going to be all that we're going to have to do with this until the chicken is soft. Then we're going to shred the chicken, and then we're going to actually add some quesadilla sauce or dip on that too. That's
Okay.
going to really make it nice. And when And we have soft shell tacos, we have hard shell tacos, and I mean, even in a burrito, just whatever.
Yep.
You've got so many options to be able to do that, and that's going to be
Absolutely.
nice.
Even if you just want to serve it with
Yeah.
rice too, you can do that.
Yeah.
You know, make up a quick Spanish rice and
And you know, we're used to tacos with beef most of the time.
right.
You know, ground hamburger. So this is a little bit different, and well, now if you go out for tacos, you can have fish tacos. You can have, you know, just chicken, anything you pretty much want.
Right.
So that's the options we are fortunate with now.
Absolutely.
So, okay. So I'm going to just put this on here, and we'll get that. So I had to have Rhonda bring her crock pot here so that we had another crock pot, put it in. So,
I'm going to do them both at the same
Yeah.
time so they
Oh.
get suctioned down properly.
okay.
It's a fancy crock
Yeah.
pot.
So what I'm going to do is now bring mine over that is completed.
Okay.
And we're going to put this one over here, and we're going to just put that on low.
Okay.
Just have to get that going.
So when you have it on low, you said it was about 4 to 5 hours, and it's usually done, or
Well,
you can put it in all day.
correct.
Okay.
You know, that 6 to 7 hours, you know, whatever.
Sure.
And that. So, okay. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take out the chicken, and we want to shred it.
Okay.
So, just get a plate.
It
There.
smells really good.
Yeah, it has a great smell. And with all the, you know, the Rotel and the green chilies, and even putting that chicken broth in, there's a little bit more liquid in there than you're going to want. So we're going to drain some of that off after we take out the chicken and shred it before we put that on the quesadilla
Okay.
sauce.
So even once you shred it and that chicken would absorb some of the liquid, you still want to drain some of it off.
yes,
Okay.
it's going to absorb some, but you're not going to, you know.
Oh yeah, now once you move it, I can see a little bit more of
Yeah.
the liquid in there.
And like you said, if you wanted to put it over rice, then I don't think, you know, I think you'd like a little extra liquid.
Sure.
But when you're putting it in a taco or a burrito or whatever, you don't want that.
No, then that
oozing
would get
out.
soggy. Yeah.
That's correct. So, you know. Yeah, and that chicken is so tender.
And so how long have you had this chicken cooking here?
This was about 6 hours.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. You know, I'm going to share a plate, and we both can shred this chicken.
Sure.
And I will get that drained a little bit here. So I'll give that to you. That won't take very long. But it certainly, like I said, I was a little bit concerned with the liquid. But you need that to really give that flavor and cooking, you know, when it's slow cooking.
Oh,
You
absolutely.
don't want it dry. And just look at how moist this chicken is. And it just shreds so easily.
It just falls apart, so it's going to be great.
Yeah, it will. So we're just. And I think it's great to see different things that, you know, it's not just hamburger, you know, all the time for that. So I'm going to just there. And what I'm going to do here, I'm going to get my pot holder out because that's a little bit hot. And I'm actually going to just drain a little bit of that juice out, and then we're going to put it back in.
Okay.
Then we're going to add about 3/4 cup of the quesadilla sauce and put it back and coat the chicken and just let it go for about 20 minutes yet. And
Okay.
then it's going to be ready to serve. So it's
Perfect.
going to really tie in nicely with our refried beans.
Okay.
So you know, I'll leave that there. But I'm not going to dispose of the other liquid until I really kind of see
Right.
what I may want there. I may want to put a little bit more back in.
Well, and if you would happen to have any leftovers, you know, it just seems like meat will just absorb that juice a little bit more, you know, maybe just to add just a touch in, you know, even if it's just a couple tablespoons or a fourth cup
Absolutely.
before you refrigerate it.
It really, yeah, very much so. So we're going to just put that in here and we'll mix that up. And I know this is going to be really good because when I was kind of looking, thinking, viewing for recipes and stuff, and actually your brother Kevin says, Sarah makes a great chicken quesadilla. He says, I really like it. So, you know, they like it. I think it's going to be really good.
I think so too.
So, okay. And this, you know, that 2 pounds of chicken, that makes a nice amount. But it's great for, I mean, leftovers, you know, just say, hey, you have that today and then tomorrow you come home and
Right.
you have some.
Well, and you can
Okay.
do different things with it too. If you want to have it as a taco, you know, tonight, and then tomorrow you want to have it as, you know, over rice.
That's correct.
You can change it up a little bit.
Actually, I'm just going to put probably a fourth here because there, about a fourth cup of liquid in there. Like I said, we don't want it too wet or juicy, but a little bit more. And like I said, we're going to hang on to that. And if we need to add a little bit more, we can do that.
Sure.
Okay, so we're going to add that about, it says about a third, excuse me, 3/4 cup, but this is probably two cups here. So I'm going to use a cup and then I'll have a cup for the, you know, the other
Sure.
recipe we're making. Stuff like this, you don't ever have to be so exact in measures, so
Right.
put that there. And so we're just going to get this mixed up and
You know, so we've done recipes for guacamole. I mean, this would be a good one to you know, have your fresh guacamole with. And we're having our refried beans. I mean, this would be, you know, just a great meal that you can incorporate some of the recipes we've done before as well.
very much so here. Just now look at all of this here.
Stay ahead of the game with ENG Lending, North Dakota's #1 choice for home loans. Let Jay and his home loan specialist help you when it comes to purchasing your new home or refinancing your existing one. Make the smart choice. Call ENG Lending at 456-LOAN. That's 456-5626.
Call 456-LOAN right now.
Okay, so our quesadilla is on, sauce is on there, and we got it on low, so that's great. Let's go over here and check our onions and stuff. That looks like that's really, really seasoned, or sauteed well. So,
Well, and one thing I wanted to let the viewers know, we did put just a little bit of the chicken bouillon in there so that it sauteed a little bit, that those spices really seem to absorb any liquid that the olive oil and the onions had.
yes, definitely, that's a good point to point out. Other than that, you would really have to be standing here pretty much stirring almost the full time so you don't burn them.
Okay.
And that. So we do need to get the beans drained. I'm going to add just a little bit more of that while we get the beans drained, because now that's the next thing we're going to do is put them in.
Okay.
So I've already got the cans open here, and there's 4 15-ounce cans of the pinto beans. So we'll get them emptied. And we're actually going to rinse the beans just a little bit, though, too.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I'll probably have a plate up there so we can catch that drippings there. So have that. So we're going to add the beans, and then we add the chicken broth to that right away too.
Okay.
Those look like they should mash up really well. So we're going to put that in here. And now we're going to add the chicken broth. And we want to simmer them. Being they are canned, they shouldn't take too long to really soften up so that we can mash them.
Sure.
And the recipe also said that, if you have a little more time and you want to do the dry pinto beans, that you can use them too. But of course, it's a lot longer process.
Absolutely.
For that. So, okay. And so we're going to put the lid on, and we're going to watch it closely so it does not burn or simmer out with the liquid. If we need to add a smidge more, we can.
Sure.
And at the end, when we are going to mash, we're going to add some fresh lime juice and a little bit of pepper and salt. And there again, that's going to be up to your taste.
Right. With the chicken broth, you got sodium in there already.
That's correct. So
you
got
to be careful.
There's some salt in the beans and everything. So very much so. You got to watch that. So let's put the lid on, and then we're going to get that stirred occasionally, and we'll be back and be able to assemble everything.
Sounds great.
Country Rose Cafe on East Villard is open for breakfast and lunch 7 days a week. Enjoy daily homemade specials, caramel and cinnamon rolls, several different kinds of homemade pies made fresh every day. Country Rose Cafe is also famous for homemade soup, including their ever-popular Nefla served every Tuesday. While you're in, make sure to pick up your Channel 18 Cooking Crave recipes and like us on Facebook for different specials and announcements. Country Rose Cafe, the way a cafe should be, located at 837 East Villard in Dickinson.
Okay, our beans, we've kind of simmered for about 15 minutes, and they're actually starting to kind of mush up a little bit in here, so they should really mush up really nice with the potato masher. So we're going to bring it over here. Okay, well, I actually just, there we go. And I'm going to get that mashed a little bit before, then we'll put the lime juice in it.
Okay.
We'll see how things are going. And it's like I said, it just depends upon what you're liking. If you really like it very fine and mushy, you want to go ahead and put it in that blender or whatever you have.
Sure.
But when the beans are nice and soft, they're mashing up really great.
Okay. I think, the more you mash them, that's where you get a little bit thicker consistency, and that's where probably traditionally what we're used to.
And that liquid is, did cook up quite a bit. One thing you want to make sure is, even though we had that chicken broth in there, you want to make sure that you are watching your beans closely, that you don't burn them.
Sure.
See, that's looking pretty fine there already, isn't it?
They're looking good.
See a little bit in there. So this certainly can be a side dish. Some people like to actually put this on with their tacos, especially if you put it in a burrito.
Sure.
I think that it would be really good. So, we'll just get that. I was the mashed potato queen at home. I would get that stirred and just go, ooh. We didn't have mixers to cut it soft. So you did it. I tell you, I was the mashed potato queen.
I'm going to ask your 7 sisters if that was true.
Okay, so I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of lime juice in it. And we'll get that mixed up. And I'm going to add a little bit of pepper, but I don't want to, like we talked, I think we're going to have quite a bit of salt, and we can always add that if we need to.
Sure.
So there's about a half a teaspoon of pepper. Okay.
Oh, yeah, I can smell that lime juice.
You can. Well, the cilantro, the lime juice, and all that, that really makes it very authentic,
Yes.
you know.
Well, and you've got some great toppings here for on top. Looks like we have some lettuce, green onions, tomatoes, jalapenos.
And you know, I think even if you're eating the refried beans just separately, I think a little bit of that quesadilla dip sauce on top of that would even be really good.
Or, you know, just melted cheese too.
Just melted
Just put a
cheese,
little bit
anything like that, yes.
mozzarella on top, and that's always good too.
Yeah. Now, I did bring out the toppings for add to the tacos, but I've got a package of grated cheese in there too.
Oh, sure.
We can't, you mentioned cheese. So right there was that hint that I forgot to take out the cheese. So let's just move this to the back.
Sure.
There as we assemble our chicken taco. And I have great fixings, and if you like it hotter, there's hot sauce, but we're not going to add that right away.
Sure.
So I have a hard shell and a soft shell, so
Okay.
however that's going to be. So let's just go ahead
And with that little bit of juice that you added back in the chicken, you're not seeing that it's too juicy at this point, do you?
not at all. No, it really looks good. We didn't add a lot, but then our, you know, the quesadilla sauce on there too made a difference. You know, it moistened up the chicken.
Sure.
And like we said, you know, your whatever kind of fixings you want here. So we're going to add a little bit of, I'm going to add a little bit of scallions on there. I like a little bit, just a few. And a couple of tomatoes. But I probably might not put a tomato on this one because I'm not sure if everybody likes tomato.
Sure.
So,
I don't know if it's that you're not sure or you know.
oh, that could be the case. And of course, cheese. And add in a little bit of sour cream on top of that. And let me get you a spoon, and I'm going to let you take out some
Oh, absolutely.
refried beans there. And I'm going to add a little bit of sour cream on top of this. Do you think we want to add anything more on that? You know, actually what we can do is let's just put it all in one plate because it all ties in together.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Okay.
this look absolutely fabulous. And thank you, Sarah, for submitting these the chicken recipe for us to share with our viewers. I'm sure this will be a family favorite that everybody's going to add to their recipe box.
I think so too.
Absolutely. If you would like these recipes, just go to Consolidated's website, www.consolidatednd.com. Please submit your recipes for us to cook for the viewers on the show, and your name will get put into the drawing for a Cooking Crave apron. Always nice to have.
Very handy.
Thank you so much to our sponsors, and join us again next week when we do it all over again here on Cooking Crave.